Well, if you're doing any outdoor work on the house or home this weekend, here's what you can expect. Keep in mind, ideal temperatures for painting between 10 and 25 degrees. And you want to have at least 2 days of dry weather before you get started on that. Certainly not dealing with dry weather in the east. We have widespread showers, about 10 to 15 millimeters. The potential for some very severe weather is in place through southern Ontario, and a great day in the prairies, warm temperatures. And then as we look to BC, a ridge of high pressure continues to build in as we move into this week, really hot temperatures. It's the weekend and you're watching the Weather Network. Michelle Mackey with you. Let's jump into our developing stories, and they look like this. Wild storms wrapping up in the west. The potential is still there for parts of the prairies on Sunday, but certainly not as severe as what we saw on Saturday. Meanwhile, the severe potential is going to be relegated to southern Ontario and Quebec Sunday afternoon. We're going to talk more about that and the muggy mugshot. That is the theme of the overnight weather selfie coming up at 13 past the hour. Tuesday afternoon, we saw hail in some areas, water and hail waist deep, so very severe 7 days in a row, counting Saturday, of active weather in the prairies. Sunday morning, we do have the potential of some non-severe thunderstorms in southern Manitoba. Saturday afternoon, we had a confirmed tornado and a weaker land spout. The potential is there to see some active weather in southern Manitoba, much of Manitoba, in fact, on Sunday. But again, that severe risk is down a notch. It's going to be non-severe in nature. This is all associated with a low pressure system that's sitting over the Ontario-Manitoba border. And that's going to work its way east as we move into Sunday. It's the same low that's going to form that cold front to trigger off the active weather in southern Ontario and Quebec. We'll see a new low form in the northern prairies Sunday evening and work its way across. There is a cold front that's attached to that. That's going to be the second risk of those thunderstorms Sunday afternoon. This is a good thing, though. It's going to provide us with some much needed rain in the northern prairies. Oh boy, the heat in southern Ontario. That's why we took the muggy mug shot in the weather selfie that's coming up 13 past, because it was hot and humid. Mike Arsenault and I both did some activities outside and then took a selfie after. It's a little bit embarrassing. But anyways, the heat warning's still in place as we head into Sunday with temperatures around 30, but with the humidity, yeah, it's going to be feeling closer to 40. Through the evening and overnight, the non-severe thunderstorm risk is quite widespread. The isolated severe risk is relegated to extreme southwestern Ontario, Windsor, Chatham. We are watching a system stateside pushing in very closely, but then Sunday you can see that risk really increases. The severe potential is there. This is the cold front. I want to play this movie out for you to show you what's going to happen and how severe this really is. You can see the cold front begins to form. Lots of moisture associated with this. Hail is there, and tornadic activity is not out of the question for parts of southeastern Ontario. Believe you. And we have an active week this side of the border as well. Michelle Mackey, Mike Arsenault joining you on the weekend. We're going to start you off in southern Manitoba Saturday afternoon.
We had tornado warnings and a confirmed tornado by Environment Canada. Look at this picture here.
Hey, we love your photos, but only if it is safe to do so. We certainly don't want you putting yourself in harm's way. And tomorrow we have the potential of more active weather in southern Manitoba. So we'll keep you posted on that right here on the Weather Network. But right now, we're going to take you to the weather selfie. You know, it's the weekend, so we decided we'd mix things up and do a two-person weather selfie, and we did something a little bit different. We decided we'd put a call out on Twitter, and I said earlier today, the heat is on in southern Ontario. Send us your mugshot to the Weather Network, and we'll feature you on air tonight. And these were the photos we were kind of hoping to get. But people, I think they were a little bit shy. So, Mike, me and you, we decided we'd post our own mug shots.
We did. Well, this is actually Monica from Friends. But earlier today, I played 3.5 hours of tennis, and that's what I look like after it. Michelle, I actually think there was some pooling and ponding on the court because of all the sweat that I lost through the day.
I'm not surprised. Now, I didn't tweet my photo out because I'm a little embarrassed.
I'm excited to see this.
Okay, so I'm going to, Charlene, our director, is standing by. If you could scroll down and reveal this. I went for a nice 10-kilometer run.
Oh boy.
And this is the aftermath.
I'm trying to think of something nice to say, but it actually kind of looks like you need an exorcism, I think, in this picture. But kudos for you putting that up there. It was hot, it was muggy, and those conditions are going to continue into the day tomorrow. There's a look at the temperature and feels like conditions. So, Michelle, do you have another run in you for tomorrow before the storms hit?
Well, you know, I'm a little bit concerned about the reaction we're going to get for that photo, so I think I'm probably going to stay inside, maybe never go outside again after what I just showed you.
That might be a good idea. So we do have a story we want to feature on the Weather Network website. This is all about mosquitoes, and there's actually 3 things that mosquitoes are attracted to you in a good host. So this is very interesting. You definitely have to check this one out.
Yeah, really cool. And we want you to stay with us right here on the Weather Network all weekend, because Sunday we are tracking some very severe weather in southern Ontario. Your local forecast is coming up next. I want to start you off with this must-see video. July the 14th to fully melt. Michelle Mackey with you. It's the weekend and you're watching the Weather Network. We're going to take a look at our systems across the country on Sunday. The focus, this cold front that's working its way through Ontario and Quebec. This could potentially spark off the most active weather that we have had all year in the area. Sunday morning, in terms of your temperatures, it's going to be below seasonal and unsettled through the Maritimes, 9 in St. John's and overcast, but it's going to clear out through the day, still below seasonal. Toronto starting the day off at 24. We have a heat warning in place through southern Ontario. That's how hot and humid it's going to be. A ridge of high pressure through western Canada means nice warm conditions. Vancouver is going to see a high of 27. A look ahead, Monday and beyond, that same cold front that's working its way into Ontario and Quebec, sparking off that active weather. It's going to reach the Maritime provinces Monday, a little bit later for Newfoundland, clearing out on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll see some more active weather. Meanwhile, at the start of the week, we have a low developing in the northern prairies. That's going to bring us some much needed rainfall. Where we really need the rain, though, that's Vancouver. The drought situation is quite severe. And that ridge of high pressure means it's just going to continue to stay dry until we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. We have a weak low that's going to bring us some isolated showers. We're also going to see a little bit of unsettled weather for the start of the week in Calgary. We're going to leave you with No Limits with Deb Matigichka. Wow, that's an incredible image. We never want you to put yourself in harm's way to get those images, though. Michelle Mackey with you, and you're watching the Weather Network. Welcome to the weekend. Sunday, here's what we can expect. Really hot, humid conditions. The risk is there for some active weather once again through Manitoba and extending into the northern prairies. Shifting a little bit further to the west, a great day through much of Saskatchewan. Really dry conditions. Temperatures seasonal, which means mid to high 20s. And then as we move into BC, a ridge of high pressure really built in over the province. Not the best thing, though. I know we like to say, hey, 27 and sunny in Vancouver, that's a good thing. But with the drought situation, we need rain. Our next chance of seeing some isolated showers will push in Tuesday through until Wednesday. Now, the risk for some active weather through the prairies, that's going to be triggered by a low pressure system that's sitting over the Manitoba-Ontario border. And as that moves east, it's going to form a cold front, and that is going to be the trigger for some active weather in southern Ontario. And then we'll see another low form Sunday evening through the northern prairies, bringing us some much needed moisture. Let's talk active weather in the east. All right, as we get into your Sunday afternoon, all of the ingredients are there in southern Ontario to be dealing with some very severe thunderstorms. This will extend into southern Quebec as well. The potential is there. We have hot, humid air, which creates a very unstable environment. The trigger for the thunderstorms is going to be the cold front. Now, the timing is questionable. As of right now, we're thinking between 2 and 8 p.m., but when these storms pop up, they're going to be explosive. They're going to pop up very quickly. Now, when I mentioned the instability in the atmosphere, that's thanks to humidity. So the temperatures are in whites. Toronto, 31. It's going to be feeling closer to 40. And when we look at the thunderstorm risk, you can see how widespread and severe in nature this really is. It's the weekend and you're watching the Weather Network. I'm Michelle Mackey. Good to have you along. We're going to take a look online and see what you've been posting and work our way west to east. So we're going to start off with this photo. You can see how dry it is in Vancouver. James Hooper tweeted this one out. He says, "Never thought I'd say this in Vancouver, but wow, do we need the rain." Level 4 drought still in effect for the South Coast, the Lower Fraser, and Vancouver Island, which is the highest level. Meanwhile, we certainly had some active weather in southern Manitoba on Saturday afternoon. Environment Canada did confirm this tornado in addition to a weaker landspout. Tomorrow, the potential for active weather is there, but certainly not as severe. We also had a weak storm moving through parts of southern Ontario. This is in Thornbury. This very cool picture on Georgian Bay. As we get into your Sunday afternoon, the risk becomes quite a bit more widespread, and the severity is really going to increase increase. Meanwhile, this is a cool shot online. You can upload your photos to our photo gallery on the Weather Network, and that's what this person did. Ron, thanks for the photo. A whale tail near St. John's. Now, St. John's on Sunday, below seasonal. We're only going to see a high of 12 and winds out of the north, and that's going to stick around for the start of the work week as well. If you want to connect with us, here's how you can do so. You can send us your photos, your videos, or just get in touch with us via the following methods. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, and with the active weather we're expecting in Ontario and Quebec on Sunday afternoon, we want you to be our eyes of the storm, but only if it is safe to do so. Okay, systems across the country on Sunday. There's your cold front that's going to be the trigger for the active weather. Meanwhile, we do have some unsettled conditions through eastern Canada, below seasonal as well. Certainly not the case. In fact, the opposite situation in BC. That ridge of high pressure means lots of sunshine, above seasonal temperatures. We could see some instability through the interior in the forms of thunderstorms. Shifting across the Rockies, you can see that ridge of high pressure also affecting much of Alberta. Southern Saskatchewan, warm and dry. And as I mentioned, the risk is there for some active weather in Manitoba, non-severe in nature. We do have some rain on the way this week too, and we need the rain. The more rain we can get, the better to help with the wildfire situation, especially in the northern prairies and in northern BC. Now that low moving into northern BC could also bring us some isolated showers finally to the south coast. Visit our... Wow, that's an incredible image there. Oh, did you feel the heat though? Yeah, we had a heat warning in place. It's still in place as we head into Sunday. Michelle Mackey with you. It's the weekend. Here's a look at our high temperatures that we saw on Saturday. Pearson got up to 30. Meanwhile, up towards Barrie, 32. Now keep in mind, these are the temperatures on the thermometer. The feels like temperature, your humidity, it felt closer to 40. And as we move into Sunday, a similar situation on the way. Temperatures much the same. And yeah, this is dangerous heat, especially if you're elderly. So if you have any health issues, probably a good day to stay inside, stay close to an air conditioner. And this is the criteria Environment Canada uses when they issue a heat warning. So this is issued when the humidex is 40 or greater and the temperature is at least 30 degrees or warmer for an hour or more, or when the temperature is 40 degrees or greater. So yeah, that is going to stick around as we head into your Sunday. You can see the area of the heat warning. It's quite widespread, and we also have special weather statements in place for parts of the Kawarthas with this heat risk. Now, along with the heat, the humidity, we really set the stage for instability in the atmosphere, and a cold front moving through Ontario and Quebec is going to act as the trigger for some thunderstorms. And where we see the red, that's severe weather. So we want you to have the push notifications on your phone. Watch this.